So May was one of our biggest months ever.
We're Brad and Jazz, and this is our journey to financial independence. Over 3 years ago, we sold our first item on eBay, which started our obsession with reselling online. Join us as we share how we make an income reselling items we find at garage sales, thrift stores, and auctions. Each month, we share with you some of our best and worst sales, so you know what's worth buying and what to leave on the shelf.
So before we get into today's video, we wanted to thank everyone for jumping onto the new vlog style that we're doing, and it seems like everyone's enjoying that. But we are going to continue to do a what sold on a monthly basis so you guys can see how we're tracking and what's selling well for us. So today we're going to go through our month of May, which was one of our best sales months ever. So we're going to go through that, 15 bolos and 5 nolos. So let's get straight into it. Jazzy, you can go first.
Cool. First item is this pair of Ariat boots. We love this brand. We wish we could find it all the time. We paid $16.80 and we sold them for $120, leaving us $70.20 profit.
Yeah, nice sale there. We don't find Ariat very often, but when we do, they sell very well.
Good.
We picked up this Nintendo Wii bundle as part of a bulk deal that we did locally just recently. Cost of goods was 15 bucks. We sold it for 90, leaving us $46.50 profit.
And I think possibly from the same local deal, we got these tubs of Lego. We don't usually sell Lego. This was a first time for us. And I did a little bit of research and found that some of it was vintage. So we listed it up for $120. We paid $20 originally and we sold it instantly. And we ended up making 60 bucks after all the shipping.
Yeah, so a lot of them were sort of around the 80s. So maybe we underpriced it, but we still made a really good profit on it. Next up, I found this Ben Sherman Liberty print new with tags. It was actually in the men's section, but it was a women's shirt. We paid $13.60 after a discount, sold it for $75 reasonably quickly, and made $42.15.
Nice find, Brady. This Sega Saturn light gun, we paid $4 for it in the massive bulk video games haul, and we sold it for $97, making us $70.45.
Yeah, you've been smashing out a lot of that stuff that we've sort of been putting off because it's harder to sort of work out if it's working or not.
Yeah, I'm getting better at it though.
But yeah, we're still ticking through that stuff, which is awesome. This was also from the gaming lot we picked up recently, N64 lot of manuals. Now, we didn't really think there was probably much value in these, so we just loaded them up, and we ended up selling for $42.95. We paid $10, so about a buck each, and made $18.51. Obviously, that's not a huge profit, but we just wanted to show you guys that those little items can add up and make you a little bit of money as well. Yeah,
especially if you have a whole box of them. We love the F1 gear, and we recently sold a 1991 Grand Prix jacket. We paid $15, sold it for $140, so we made $96.
Yeah, we picked up a heap of those just recently from a guy, so very happy to get them
out
the door.
We are always on the lookout for F1.
Next up was a DVD set, so Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Season 1 to 3. Now we picked that up from the local buyer, $1.26 for the 3 DVDs. Sold for $59.95, making us $41.70. So we're happy to get that back on that lot, giving us a little bit of, tick over in the store, and putting them together got us better ASP.
Brad picked up this pair of New Balance Minimus recently. You might have seen it in our boot haul. He paid only $6.80 at Savers, and we sold it same day for $64, making us a very quick $39.60.
Yeah, New Balance Minimus are insanely popular, so jump on those if you find them. Next up, we had this Pendleton long sleeve shirt for a little bit longer than we had the Minimus, but we picked it up for $11.80, sold it for $79.95, making us $48.16. Obviously, that's like the virgin wool, and usually they'll sort of sell around winter, which is why they sort of sat around our store a bit longer.
Brad also found the Stag leather jacket, paid $30 for it, and we made sure the zip was working this time. We sold it for $115 reasonably quick, making us $57.75.
Next up was also from the local deal that we did, this Manhunt PS2 game. We paid $2 and sold it for $59.99 really quickly, making us $40.99.
We have Brad's parents to thank for this next one. They went to a garage sale and they found us a Sony Walkman in the box, and they knew that we would want it. They actually just gave it to us because they're amazing. So $0 cost of goods. We sold it for $120 and we made $90 profit. Thanks, Mum and Dad.
Might have to buy them a steak dinner next time they're down.
I think so.
Next up, Sega Dreamcast. Now, we listed this as repair only. So this was from that big gaming haul. Obviously, we said at the start there was going to be stuff in there that didn't work. So we listed this up for 90 bucks. We paid $4 per item on that lot, and we got the 90 bucks for it. So we made $60.50 profit.
Also have to say a big thank you to my mum, because she also did a little bit of sourcing for us, and she brought us a shopping bag full of the Jack's wrestling figures. I knew absolutely nothing about these, so we also need to thank Robbie Hollywood, the Aussie VHS thrifter, for helping us identify these dudes. We paid nothing for these. We sold them in a big bulk lot for 149 bucks, so we made 111.65. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, shout out to Diary Flipper on that as well, because he also gave us some tips on those.
Everybody.
All right, Nolos. Every month we share 5 Nolos with you that we wouldn't pick up again if we were to find them in a thrift store. First up, we have this Shaun of the Dead Blu-ray. We paid 42 cents for it. We sold it for $12.50, so we did make $6.91. So I guess in a bulk lot, that's okay, but we probably wouldn't just pick that up in an individual purchase because the amount of money we're making back on it is lower than we would like.
Yeah, and it's a similar thing with the CDs that we sell. This brand new CD by The Weeknd, we paid 80 cents for, sold it for $15.73 and sent it untracked. We made $9.27, but if I saw it on the shelf in an op shop, I probably wouldn't grab it individually. That's something we'd only do as a big bulk lot.
Yeah, and there are people that do really well with CDs and DVDs, but their model is completely different to ours, where they're listing, 50 to 100 items per day, where we don't really want to incorporate that into our business.
Know your store.
Next up, another Nolo, 20 of these Charlie and the Chocolate Factory card sets. We actually had a full box of these, and these were extra, so we did make some good money on the actual box. But these extra ones we paid $1 for. We sold them for $12, only making us $5.90. So if we were to find a bunch of them in an op shop, under sort of maybe 50 of them, we wouldn't bother, because they're just not really worth enough for what we're after.
If it's in our house already, we're gonna sell it. Here's one that we used to do quite well with, but we've started to notice a drop off in Ted Baker. So we had this Ted Baker long sleeve shirt listed for way too long. We paid $8 for it, and in the end we just sold it for $23, and we made $3.35 just to get that one out the door. It's not something that we're really looking for anymore unless we find an amazing print.
Yeah, definitely. They've sort of we've seen a bit of a drop off on them, so we just dropped the price to get it out the door. Next up, we picked up this Taz plush toy. It was new with tags. We picked this up a while ago for $1. It sat around for too long, so we did sell it for $24 in the end, making us $11.40 after everything, but the time frame to sell that was too long for what we're after. And that's another thing that I want to touch on today. We're really working on trying to improve our sell-through rate, because we have a lot of items listed, and we just want to make sure that our sell-through is tracking better than it has been. So that's the sort of item that we're not really looking for, because we want a faster sell-through rate.
Well, sometimes you just spend $1 on a plush because that particular op shop had puppies. We wanted to play with the puppies.
It was a cool plush toy. All right, what you're all here for, what we actually sold in May, the numbers, so you guys can see how it's been tracking for us. So in the month of May, we sold 332 items for a total of $22,744.65, which is a massive jump from last month. I think that's up like $7 grand. So our ASP was $68.51.
Also better than the last few months.
Yeah, and there are a couple factors to that I do want to point out. Obviously, we had that massive sale of the Niki Lauda jacket, which went over to Canna, and they have received that, and I'm very happy with it, which is great. And we have also been doing a lot of house thrift and trying to sell off some of the card stuff to get some money back for our future endeavors. So just be aware of that this month was impacted by that. But even if you take that stuff out, we're still sort of $3,000 to $4,000 up on last month, which is great. So great work by Jazzy to keep the listing going even when we were unwell. You can probably still hear we're still got a bit of a croak going on.
Husky.
So let us know in the comments below how your month's been, and we want to hear from you, your bolos and your nolos, because that's the way we all learn. So thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time on Aussie Thrifters. Bye for now.